안녕하세요 and greetings. Welcome to our English language learning distance learning class. So I want to take a moment to just explain to you how this class is going to work. This is not going to be too much different than our regular class. One difference I'll say is that we're going to have maybe shorter class times than usual. I know that you have full classes for the rest of your classes and all the other courses that you have. I don't think that you need to spend all day sitting in front of a computer. So our classes are going to be a little bit shorter. One thing that we are going to do every week is we'll have our spelling test like we usually do. You'll get your new word list on Monday, and I'll spend that day kind of explaining each word on our spelling list. Next, another thing that we're going to be doing is Read Naturally Live. We're going to continue doing Read Naturally, but this time instead of doing it with pencil and paper, you're actually going to be doing it on the computer. So we got a new program called Read Naturally Live, and I'll show you how to use this program on Tuesday, March 31st. So please check your email, and I'll send you a link to the Google Meet that we'll have where I'll explain exactly how to do this. We'll meet on Tuesday, March 31st at 10:05 a.m. That's when the meeting begins, and then I'll go over our new program, Read Naturally Live. As I mentioned to you, I don't want you to spend all day sitting in front of the computer, but you do need to practice your English. So I want you to do at least one Read Naturally Live story per day. In addition to that, every week you'll have to turn in you'll have to turn in sentences that you make using our spelling words. So you'll make one sentence with every word in our spelling list. So usually we have about 15 words, so you'll have to write about 15 sentences. And this will be due every Wednesday. And the last thing that we're going to do for this class is we'll have a spelling test every Friday. I'll probably just post a YouTube video of me saying the word, and then you will write the word down. Once you finish that, you will go ahead and maybe take your Chromebook and snap a picture of your spelling test and then send that to me via email. So let's go ahead and get started with our spelling list. This week's spelling list is going to focus on compound words. We did a lot of work with compound words when we're doing phonemic awareness. And a compound word is simply two words that you put together to make a new word. So when we're doing phonemic awareness, if you remember, we would say something like underground, and we put it together to make underground. So anyways, compound words. Our first word is airplane. Airplane is a real simple word. Everyone knows what an airplane is. I don't need to explain this. But go ahead, take a moment to say airplane. Airplane. And usually when we talk about airplanes, we usually talk about riding in airplanes, or airplanes can land, they can crash. Airplane. Our next vocabulary word is airport. Airport is like a parking lot for airplanes, but not only do planes park there, but they also land and take off there. Airport. Airport. Please take a minute to repeat this word as well, just so that you can have some pronunciation practice. Airport. And as you say the word, listen to the sounds and think of the way that it's spelled. Airport. Our next word is armpit. Armpit. As you can see here, we've got an image of a woman with her arms up, and you can see her armpits. She's got hairy armpits. Armpit. Armpit. What else? So you heard me say that the woman has hairy armpits. When we talk about armpits, we're talking about both. You can talk about it singular, like armpit. I got hit in the armpit, or my armpit is itchy. Usually if you're talking about both, I have hairy armpits. I don't have hair in my armpits. My armpits are ticklish. Those are different ways that you'd use this word, armpit. Our next word is background. Please say the word background. Okay, and so background is like something that you can see behind someone or something. So behind this dog, there's a red bridge in the background. We can also talk about background in relation to something in someone's past, something in someone's history. So, for example, I had a background in wrestling, or my wrestling background is why my ears are so ugly. Because that's something in my background. I'm not wrestling anymore, but that's in my background. It's in my history. If someone had a criminal background, that means that they, were probably robbing people years ago, but it's not something that they're doing now. So we can talk about things that we see in the background. We can say that, oh, I saw you in the background when I was in, I don't know, science class, or when I was in the cafeteria, I saw you in the background. Maybe I was talking to someone else and they were in front of me, they were in the foreground, but you were in the background. We can also talk about background noise. At school we often hear cars going by in the background. I live maybe a little bit closer to the airport, so you can always hear airplanes going back and forth in the background. Our next vocabulary word is backward. Backward. Okay, so in the first picture we can see two boys wearing their clothes backwards, and we can see a woman trying to ride a horse backwards. When we talk about going, we can go backward. But usually when we're talking about the way someone does something, we use the word backwards with an S. People oftentimes wear their hats, their baseball caps, they turn them around and they wear them backwards. What else do they do backwards? Sometimes people spell words backwards. Sometimes people put things on backwards. We usually use it with the S and not so much without the S. We could talk about, and actually when we use it without the S, we're talking about like movement. So we go backwards. I just use it with the S. We can go backward. We can drive backward. We can run backward. So we use it a lot both with the S and without the S. You'll have to play around with it a little bit to see what sounds best to you. But our vocabulary word or our spelling word is backward. Backward. Our next word is blackout. Please repeat after me, blackout. In our picture, you can see that there are cars on the street with their lights on, and there are some buildings with their lights on too, but most of the buildings are black because they have no electricity, and that's what a blackout is. It's when you lose electricity at night and everything goes black. It's a blackout. Blackout. Usually we talk about a blackout as an event. So yesterday or last night there was a blackout for the city of St. Paul. There was a blackout in New York City during the summer, and so no one had air conditioning. Blackout. Blackout. Our next vocabulary word is brainwash. Brainwash. Please repeat after me. Brainwash. Brainwash is a verb. It means to be kind of controlled by someone else, be manipulated by someone else. Excuse me. And usually when you are brainwashed, it means that you believe something that you usually wouldn't believe. It's like you've changed in a way that doesn't fit with the person that you are. So, for example, we can say that, let's pretend that Eomu is a Buddhist, right? He does not believe in Christianity, but then he begins to date someone who does believe in Christianity. And so he suddenly changes his religion. Maybe some people would say, oh, Eomu is or was brainwashed. So we use the word brainwash as a verb. People is or are or were, can be brainwashed. We usually use those other sort of helping verbs or linking verbs next to the word brainwash. We can also use brainwash actively if you are doing it to someone else. So, for example, we could say that I brainwash my students into thinking that English is easy. Brainwash. There are lots of different ways that we can use this. Our next vocabulary word is cardboard. Cardboard is something that is part of our daily lives. Boxes are made out of it. If you got folders, your folder's probably made out of cardboard. Notebook cover is made out of cardboard. Cardboard, it's a noun. My notebook has a cover made of cardboard. We could also use cardboard as an adjective to describe things like a cardboard cover, cardboard box. You can use it as a noun or an adjective, cardboard. Our next word is clockwise. Clockwise. This is a term that some of you might not know so well because these days no one ever uses clocks that look like this, that have the numbers on them. However, clockwise is important because it helps us understand the way something is rotating. So when something goes around, oops, and my fingers are going the wrong way. When something goes around like this, it's moving clockwise. Okay, and if we look at this, the face of this clock here in the picture, let me find my cursor. Let me get another color. This yellow just doesn't show up so well. Okay, and so yeah, when we move in order the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, this directional movement is called clockwise. If you're going in the other direction, it's called counterclockwise. Our next word is crosswalk. Please say the word crosswalk. Crosswalk is just a place where you cross the street. You walk across the street at the crosswalk. This crosswalk is in South Korea. And then, yeah, we can say, I met someone at the crosswalk, I saw someone at the crosswalk, I walked across the crosswalk. Crosswalk. Our next vocabulary word is daydream. Daydream. It's something a lot of you do during class when you're supposed to be doing Read Naturally. You draw pictures of yourself flying through the air or riding on horses. You're daydreaming. Daydream. Hopefully you won't be daydreaming as much with Read Natural Live because it'll be on a computer, but we'll see. Daydream is a noun. We can also use it as a verb too. So in this picture, the man is daydreaming about being Iron Man. And usually when we say daydream, we daydream about something. The woman is daydreaming about being at a beach. Next is the word doorway. When we talk about, in English, if we were to talk about this picture, we would not say the man is standing in the door. If we said the man is standing in the door, it would seem like he is inside of the door, like the door has been built around him and the man is in the door, like inside of it. But we would say he's standing in the doorway instead. And so doorway includes not only the door, but also this door frame and kind of the opening where the door is. That's what a doorway is. So the man is standing in front of the doorway. Our next vocabulary word is eggplant. Eggplant. The purple eggplant is the kind of eggplant we eat in Korea. We call it kaji. And the green one is the kind of eggplant they eat in Thailand. I wonder if our Korean students eat eggplants. Please write a sentence about it. Eggplant. Our next vocabulary word is eyebrows. Eyebrows. Now usually when we talk about eyebrows, we use it in plural. We talk about eyebrows. So we could say that I've got, I got bushy eyebrows. I got thick eyebrows. This is a picture of an actor. His name's Yoo Sung. We could say he has arched eyebrows. You can use eyebrow as a singular if someone has one eyebrow. This is a picture of a very famous Mexican artist. Her name's Frida Kahlo, and she was not shy at all about showing her thick single eyebrow. She had one thick single eyebrow that kind of went across her head. She also wasn't shy about showing her little mustache too. She had a little facial hair as well. Usually we say eyebrows. Sometimes you can say eyebrow if you really want to emphasize that that person just has one. Our last vocabulary word is eyesight. Eyesight. Eyesight is a noun, and it's usually something we use to describe how well that we can see. So people have good eyesight, they have bad eyesight, they have terrible eyesight. I actually have awful eyesight. If we look at this chart here, I mean, I know that the first letter is an E, but when I have my contact lenses off, I don't know. It's just like this sort of gray smear on a white background. My eyes are terrible, so I have bad eyesight.